Special Enforcement Section were deployed based on intelligence in this area here. They've been deployed in areas where we have information to believe that crime will either occur or has occurred, which we refer to intelligence-led policing. The officers were in an area where they gathered information that a crime was about to occur at a local business. The officers saw the individual that they had information as to possibly involved in a crime. They pursued that individual who fled from the officers. The suspect turned out that the suspect was armed. He fought the officers. They detained and struggled with this individual who produced a handgun, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. The suspect was struck multiple times. We know at this moment that 3 officers fired. We don't know the number of weapons fired. The suspect is being treated at a local hospital. I don't have an update on his condition right now. We have recovered a weapon at the scene. And that's all we have right now.
Can you name the business, or can you tell us about the business where the initial?
I could tell you this. The officers had very good information, and it's a local business, but we're not going to get into that. What I do want to talk about is that these officers developed good information of a crime that was just about to occur. They took quick action and brought that suspect, who was violent, who was armed, and who was looking to do harm to the local citizens here.
Commissioner, to clarify, are you saying there was a physical struggle before shots were fired?
This individual, while armed, fought with clearly identified officers, and at one point armed himself, which resulted in an officer-involved shooting.
Was this before or after the chase?
The suspect was chased. It resulted in a physical altercation as the officers attempted to take him into custody. He violently resisted. That resulted in the suspect producing a weapon, at which time the officers, it resulted in the officers' use of force, deadly force.
We know you don't want to say the name of the business, but can you tell us how far it is from here and how long the chase was?
And the reason we don't want to talk about the business is it's all very preliminary information. What we do know is that there was a crime that we had information was about to happen in a local business. The officers saw a suspect that they believed matched the description. It turned out to be the suspect. It turned out that the suspect was armed, and it turns out that the suspect was not willing to give up to officers.
But you can't tell us how far the business is from where the shooting occurred?
Still part of the investigation.
It's a local business, and we'll have more information as we gather that. It's not that it's a secret. I want to verify it before I put it out there.
Okay.
A clarification, Commissioner. There were initial reports that there was a call that went out to police of an armed man being in the area with a gun. Police arrived, saw this man with a gun, chased him, and then whatever resulted. Your story is...
I don't have information that there was a call. The information we have, and again, it's preliminary information, that the officers had gathered intelligence that there was an individual matching a description, armed and in the process of committing or looking to commit a crime. The officers saw that individual, and we believe that the officers were able to stop and prevent that crime from happening tonight.
In terms of the shooting, you guys have a very difficult job. Let me just preface it with that. But in terms of the shooting happening in the court over there, several witnesses are coming forward and saying that they agree that there was a fight. They say the suspect was on the ground. He was being kicked by police officers as the suspect was defending himself from the kicks from police officers, right? He raised his arms, got up, and then the officers fired. What's your reaction to witnesses who say the officers may have gone too far in shooting this man?
My reaction is this. As the Deputy Commissioner in charge of Professional Standards and Accountability, we're going to launch, and I've already launched, a administrative investigation, which is the norm anytime an officer is involved in the use of force. I welcome those citizens and any citizens that may have witnessed this to come forth. We will interview any and all witnesses, and we'll get to the bottom of this. However, the preliminary information that we have is that the suspect was armed and that the officers feared for their life. And what I can tell you is that an individual who is armed that does not comply with the laws of an officer, one can only guess what that person would do if they confronted a citizen who can't defend themselves. So I'm proud of the work done by the officers.
I heard the suspect is a team. Do you know if...
I'm on call for the rest of the night as we get information out. We'll get that information.
None of the officers were hit by gunfire at all? No one was okay. Thank you.
The officers were not injured.